So I am here in one of my favourite places on earth, and that is Melbourne, Australia. And this morning I got out the door bright and early. That's 5 AM for the North Road ride. But things didn't exactly go to plan.
It's about time we do this, it's the cycling Tattooist.
So yes, as you can clearly tell, it is the depths of the night. I am on my way to the North Road ride, and it is bloody early. I am not cut out for these early starts. 5:45 the group meets, and where they meet is conveniently not near where we're staying. So I've got a short ride to the start as well, making it even earlier. Just what I like. This ride, the North Road ride, is one of many group rides that goes on here in Melbourne. You can literally do a different group ride every morning if you want. In fact, multiple, depending on what your taste is for the day. This one this morning, however, it ain't gonna be easy. This is a full gas race pace, and it doesn't help. As per usual, I'm running late. So I'm having to put in a bit of an early effort just to get there. Anyways, you probably can't see me very well, so I'm gonna get myself there. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna be able to talk much on this ride, so you very well may hear from Thomas from the future with a bit of voiceover. If that's the next voice you hear, then well, spoiler alert, it got spicy.
So here we go, I just managed to get to the meet point in time, and these guys, they set off like clockwork. 5:45, they meet at this very unassuming point, which is the intersection of Nepean Highway and North Road. And yeah, as I say, 5:45, that is it, we're off. And there is no mucking about, they get straight to it. Anyways, before we get into this, I just want to apologise for taking my sweet time getting this video out. I haven't posted a video in a couple of weeks, and yeah, just been a bit slack. I've had a lot going on. It was actually my daughter's first birthday the other day as well, so yeah, been celebrating that. But yeah, I'm back to it now, and I've got a couple of videos left over from my trip to Australia, so yeah, I'll be posting them out. I have also got some footage from the infamous Hell Ride, which of course I had to attend again. So yeah, if you like this video and this kind of style of video with the commentary over the top, then yeah, let us know in the comments. And yeah, if you want to see that Hell Ride video, then I may even do a cheeky little midweek upload just to try and get these videos out. Anyways, back to the matter in hand. This is the North Road ride. They actually do this ride every single morning, but this one in particular is the long one, which is on a Wednesday, and it usually works out around 80 kilometers. It does depend where you get off of the train on the way back, but for me, including the extra I did to get to the meet point, I ended up with just over 100k for this ride. If I pop a map up on the screen right now, you can see that the ride heads down the Nepean Highway, it follows the coast until it hits the town of Frankston, and then it does what they refer to as the Two Bays Loop. They go up Mount Eliza, loop round, and then basically head back the way they came. Now, don't be led into a false sense of security. As you can see, we're not exactly hauling it at the minute, and the power is quite manageable right now, but this ride definitely gets spicy. I think for the first 10 to 15 kilometers, something like that, they tend to just cruise along and kind of establish the group. But yeah, as you'll see very shortly, things start to kick up a notch. So here we go, I've just skipped ahead a bit of time here. We are basically going around this roundabout here. This is where Beach Road meets the Nepean Highway, and this is the point where things start to kick off. So yeah, if you're ever doing this group ride for the first time, just bear that in mind. Basically, get ready. At this point, things are going to start getting savage. And yeah, they're basically going to start rolling turns now. One thing I will say is they do run this like a finely tuned watch. They really do like to keep things perfectly together, And the way that they roll turns, it's like nothing that I've ever experienced, to be honest. And if you're not kind of familiar with how to ride in a chain gang, then this is actually quite a good example, especially for someone like myself that, I do these big rides with the guys here in Portugal. And, I love those TGV guys. They put on some great rides. But one of the things with those is it is a bit carnage. There definitely isn't any sort of formation like you're about to see now. And, with that sometimes can come risks. But, not dogging on those guys. But when you see something like this, where it is like perfectly executed rolling turns, it's a thing of beauty, really. So as you can see, the watts are going up and we are in the thick of it now. I am in the fast line right now and we are pushing towards the front. I'm doing well over 300 watts now. And as you can see, there is a lot of people here. There you go. You just caught a glimpse of Lee Hollywood Turner there. He's a bit of a local legend. And I think he pretty much always shows up for these rides. So if you ever want to meet him, just turn up to the North Road ride and he's sure to be there. But here we go. We are pushing, just holding this woman's wheel now. And I think she was actually the only woman at this ride. So fair play. I'm not sure who you are, but kicking it with the big dogs of Melbourne, that's no mean feat. And as you can see, I'm having to surge up to about 4,500 watts there to come round her, do my turn on the front, and then I back off slightly just as the next guy starts to overtake me. So essentially that is, I'm probably telling people how to suck eggs here, but that's essentially how it works. You pull your short turn. This is, a proper chain gang, so it's continually rolling. It's not a pace line where, you're doing a set amount of time on the front. It is literally rolling straight through, and then, you join the slow line, and then once it's time for you to join back on again into the fast lane, then, you pull across and you work your way to the front again, and just keep rinse and repeating that until you die a slow and painful death. As you can see, there is a lot of people rolling turns. They will tend to drop off throughout the ride and you'll have less and less people who are in this front group. But at the minute, there is a lot of people, so you do get quite a bit of rest as you're waiting for your turn to come back round. Generally, the way that it will work is the person that is at the end of the line will let you know by saying last man as they pass you, or sometimes they'll just say yep, or some sort of indication that it's basically your time to jump onto the back, which is just about to happen now. You can see I'm checking over my shoulder, and then there you go, there's that woman passes me. She gives a little hand gesture. She probably said yep or something, and there we go. Sometimes in Australia I have noticed, this is probably a worldwide thing, but I've only experienced it in Australia. They have someone that they refer to as the gatekeeper, which is basically the guy at the front of the pack of riders that aren't rolling turns. And he'll basically sometimes just call the riders across and say yep, or go, or whatever, just to let you know that it's your turn to go, because sometimes you look over your shoulder and you'll see someone behind you, but they're not actually going to take a turn. So especially in huge group rides like this, God knows how many people was here this day, but I know some of these group rides in Melbourne get absolutely out of control, especially like the Hell ride that I mentioned. Like, sometimes they get like over 100 riders, so they have to have this sort of etiquette going on and these very strict ways that they perform, because otherwise it would just be absolute carnage. But anyway, here we go. I'm coming back onto the front again. As you can see, banging out just over 400 watts there for a second. That was actually a bit of a weak turn, I think. But no, hang on a minute. No, little extra push there, hit about 500 watts. So I think actually what happened there was, well, as you can see, there is God knows how many traffic lights along this road. That is one of the only downfalls of any of these kind of big group rides in Melbourne. They do have to fight with so many traffic lights, and yeah, quite often it does disrupt the flow of the ride. But yeah, let's just jump forward a little bit of time here, and I'll hopefully show you a bit better of a turn on my next time at the front. Things are starting to get a bit brighter now. We are probably just after 6 o'clock right now, and as you can see, I'm working my way back to the front again. The power, I would say, to hold the wheel on the fast line is around sort of 300, 350 for me. And then, as you can see, as I'm coming onto the front, I'm having to kind of surge to about 450. So yeah, banging on an extra 100 watts to pull my turn, and then yeah, back off again before I let the next guy come round me. There really is something quite satisfying about being part of a well-oiled machine like this, especially at this time of the morning. I mean, I am not a morning person by any means, but there is definitely something about it, getting out early and just absolutely ripping your legs off with, you know, a bunch of other go-getters. Yeah, you do. You feel special out there. You feel like you're actually doing something pretty awesome. So I've skipped a bit of time now, and we are actually on the loop section of this route, and this is where things start to get pretty disgusting, because this ride isn't just a blast down the coast on the nice flat road along there. It really isn't. This is where the road starts to go up, and there is actually a surprising amount of climbing in this route. And yeah, these boys don't muck about. They literally attack any bit of an incline. They just go for it full gas, and yeah, it is disgusting. There's no other way of putting it. As you can see, look, there you go, bang, getting out the saddle. Everyone is just absolutely hammering it. I'm having to do 7,500 watts there just to keep up with the pack. All I'm thinking is, I know that this isn't a particularly long climb, so I'm just punching it and just hanging in there, really. As you can see from my heart rate, it is hurting. I'm at 192 beats a minute. Oh, I stand corrected, 193. And yeah, that was just absolutely awful. And the problem is, with a ride like this, the pace doesn't really ever die off. So if you do put in a harsh effort like that, and you know, your heart rate skyrockets, you haven't really got much of a chance to rest. So you've got to somehow get your breath back, whilst also, look, you know, doing 4,500 watts, and I'm trying to recover. So this ride really isn't easy. It's not for the faint-hearted, but if you want a challenge, and you know, you want to go out there early doors and push yourself, see what you're made of, then yeah, go get stuck in. There really isn't another ride like it, and I know for certain next time I'm back in the area, I will 100% be doing this ride again. Anyways, just as I was chirping on there, saying about how there's no chance to get a rest in on this ride, there was in fact a little bit of a lull in the pace. We was just sort of rolling along there, and I have managed to get my heart rate down. I'm at 150 BPM now, but that won't last long, because as you can see, the pace is increasing again. We are starting to form a little bit of a pace line here, and I think what's about to happen now is someone's sort of pushing on this incline, and they're actually attacking. So then obviously the rest of us back here are going to have to react. So you can see the watts are going up again, and yeah, it's just going to start hurting all over again, basically. And that is what these guys do. Every time there is an incline, they will surge and just try and absolutely rip your legs off. Yeah, I thought this was a friendly event, but it seems that everyone is out to just absolutely abuse you. But you know, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? You know, us as cyclists, we are quite the sadomasochistic lot. So yeah, bring it on, I say.
Oh god. Well, you know, at the start of the video when I said I might not be able to talk, well, yeah, it's definitely been spicy. Oh, I last done this ride about 3 years ago now, and it seems I've completely forgot how hard it was. And I'd also forgotten that there was so much climbing in the route. Almost got caught out there. Well, I definitely wish I knew that they regrouped at the top of that climb.
Can't take a lap out on the truck, mate. You've got to just no retreat, no surrender. Hey! Right, yeah, let's go.
So as you can see, we are back to rolling turns down the Nepean Highway. We are on our way to the finish. We've still got a fair way to go. I reckon at this point we're probably about 50 kilometres in, and of course we are all hurting at this point. Well, I say we're all. I'd like to think everybody else is hurting, but judging by the state of my legs, yeah, this is just absolutely brutal. You know, after doing all of that climbing, you then come back onto this nice flat road, which is beautiful in comparison, but your legs are absolutely cooked, and then you're rolling 400 or 500 watt turns again, and yeah, you're just pretty much hanging on for dear life the whole way back. You're just doing whatever you can do to just not get dropped. So here we go, I'm approaching the front again. I'm behind this gentleman here in his race kit. As you'll see on this ride, there is a lot of guys in race kit, and that's because all of these guys are absolute savages. And talking of savages, there you go, that's Lee Turner again, the old local legend, Mr. Hollywood, in his very fetching, all yellow, stitch and dart kit. You can spot him a mile off. You definitely won't be missing him when he's out on the road. But yeah, like I say, you will see a lot of the guys that are riding in team kits, and that is because, you know, Melbourne has a very strong cycling scene, and, you know, a lot of racing goes on, and, you know, they use these rides as training rides. It just goes to show you how dedicated some of these guys are, because, you know, they're banging out 100 kilometres before they start work, which, you know, to me, that just seems obscene. I definitely couldn't do that on a regular basis. But yeah, in Melbourne, that seems to be ingrained into the cycling culture there. They're always starting early, and they're always doing these long, hard rides. And yeah, it's incredible to see, to be honest. And there really is some elite level cyclists there. You know, everyone, it seems like the bar is just so much higher. It's like the average cyclist is just very, very strong, and then you've got these guys that are doing, you know, these crazy rides in their team kit who are just absolute monsters. So yeah, it's just a different gravy over there. Anyways, as you can see, the pace is getting absolutely ridiculous. We are sitting at 55 kilometers an hour at the moment. It's becoming increasingly hard to hold the wheel, and you know, I'm having to hold, you know, 300 watts here in this geezer's draft, and as you can see, he's quite a big dude as well, so you'd like to think I was getting quite a good draft, but clearly not. And you know, I'm trying to come around him here. You can see I'm having to surge up to 500 watts just to get around him. So yeah, I think it was probably a combination of maybe a little bit of a tailwind on the way home was maybe helping with the speed, but also these guys are just pushing on hard, and yeah, just incredible pace. It really, there's no other feeling like it, being in a group of strong riders like this, just cruising along at, you know, over 50k an hour. It's just absolutely savage, and you know, all the noises and just, you know, everyone just giving it is such an incredible feeling. If you've never done a fast-paced group ride like this or a chain gang, you really should get involved. So I've jumped forward a bit of time again, and I thought I'd include this bit here. We just got caught by the lights there, so we had to slow right down, but as you can see, these boys don't muck about getting back up to speed. I'm having to surge to over 600 watts there, and yeah, they just absolutely hammer it. It's like there's no like slow progression back into the speed. It's just, right, the lights are green, bang, let's have it again. And yeah, they just get back up to speed as quickly as possible. And yeah, as you can see, we're already back up to 50k an hour. I'm going around Lee there. I'm having to put in another dig, hitting 400 watts, and yeah, it's just absolutely relentless, but in a good way, of course. It's, you know, I'm choosing to be here. No one's held a gun to my head and said you have to do this ride. It's one of those weird things that, you know, we like to do this to ourselves, and you do feel good about it after, and maybe not at the time. Your internal monologue is literally saying, why the hell have you done this to me? I could have been in bed. But no, you're out here absolutely smashing your legs to bits. But yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's all part of the fun, and yeah, what a great bunch of guys to roll with. Anyways, I've jumped forward a bit of time yet again, just basically trying to get in as many shots of me pulling turns on the front, just so you know that I did my fair share. You know, I can't turn up as a out-of-towner and, you know, not put in some effort, can I? You know, I can't just be a passenger princess on the back of the train. So yeah, you know, no offense to anyone that does turn up to these rides and doesn't pull turns, because, you know, as I said earlier, that does happen. You know, not everyone can be rolling turns in a group of this size. So yeah, if you do want to turn up and, you know, you haven't got strong legs that day, and you feel like, oh, I'm just going to hang on the back, then you can do that. But yeah, me personally, I wasn't going to ever do that, was I? You know, like I said, I can't turn up and be like, oh yeah, hey guys, yeah, thanks for the ride, just tow me along. I've got to get stuck in and give it my all. Unfortunately, this ride wasn't going to end how I would have liked, and as you're about to see, I end up having some pretty bad luck.
Oh no! Yeah, absolute. Oh well. Well, I'm just gonna have to take that one as a lesson learned. When you're traveling with your bike a lot and you're taking it apart and putting it back together multiple times, probably best you check it over and make sure that everything's working as it should, because yeah, I've just had to learn the hard way with that. It seems something in my drivetrain, I think maybe the rear derailleur has slightly become out of line, because it pushed my chain over the top of the cassette and into the spokes, and yeah, jammed up a good one. So unfortunately my North Road ride has ended there. Oh well, I'll be back to fight another day, as they say. So there you go, that was my first group ride back here in Melbourne. Although it didn't quite go to plan, I did have a fantastic time, and yeah, I really recommend that group ride to anyone if you fancying a bit of spice very early in the morning. Yeah, definitely go get involved with the North Road ride. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to the guys at Bike Gallery here in Melbourne. They massively helped me out today. I went and took my bike along to them, and they basically checked it all over, and they did find some things wrong with it. The mech hanger was slightly bent, which was probably causing some of the gear changing issues, and yeah, just a few little adjustments were made, but now it is running absolutely perfectly. So yeah, massive thank you to the guys at Bike Gallery. I'm rolling again, and I'm ready to hit some more group rides here in Melbourne. I've got plenty more planned with the rest of my time here, so you can expect more content from this incredible place in the coming videos. As always, I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you next time.